Hey guys, Deadslayer Magic here. Welcome to part 2 of the latest spoiler drop from over the weekend, I guess. So far, nothing too terribly exciting, but some kind of neat little combo pieces and some very novel cards with mechanics we haven't seen before. This is kind of cool. Let's see what the second half has for us, and I have not read these yet. First, we got Gleaming Barrier. It's a 0/4 defender for 2. That's kind of neat. And, when it dies, you get a treasure. That's wonderful. I like that. That is amazing. The only thing worse than having somebody have to waste a removal spell to get a 0/4 defender out of the way is you getting a benefit from it. The fact that it's colorless is cool because then you can maybe work, just not really treasures, but just one single use ramp into another deck that isn't typically treasure colored. So that's pretty sweet. Honestly, basically 0/4 walls, they're never that great, but I like this one. I just like something about it. Next up, oh good, it's not in English. Wonderful. That's great. So anyway, maybe it says Glorious Destiny, and well, definitely it's a 3-cost enchantment. Okay, definitely has Ascend, and it maybe says as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1, and they have Vigilance. Oh good, Always Watching is back, and it's single white. You guys know how much I love Always Watching. It's like one of my all-time favorite cards. It was so good, and it was almost the entirety of the power behind Combat Specialist 2. Well, this is how you make a garbage version of it, because this is tribal only. You name a creature type, so in other words a tribe, and that's all it boosts. It's just encouraging people to build one of the 4 tribes. I get it, it's kind of what the set does, but I like wide open universal cards, not this, oh, it only works with this garbage where you're locked into a hole and you can only, build one single little thing with it. If you're running vampires and pirates, you get 50% of the use out of this than you would if you were just running vampires. So I don't like it. I mean, it's not colorless. So, if you're playing white, you're probably playing vampires. There's not a whole lot of crossover there, but still, I don't like tribals. I never liked the decks. They're so cookie cutter and built for you and obvious, and they're very rarely the best decks. Now that said, I think this is going to take them to overpowered levels. So this is just all around bad. Just a bad card, bad choice of design. Next up, oh boy, it's a flippy flip, and I do believe we have the other side. So it's Journey to Eternity. It's on color with that stupid snake that I hate, so that's wonderful. And it's a legendary aura, so it's legendary on this side, not just the other side. That's interesting. Oh god, it's basically an Umbra. Oh, did they just find the most obnoxious card mechanics and just bring them back? Okay, when enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield. So it's like Embalm, except no delay and you don't have to pay for it. That to me is overpowered. Having to kill something twice, wonderful. It's a great defense. It's a great way to play around control. Having to kill something twice immediately with no delay and no mana and no triggered ability, no wait period, nothing, that's just too good. Oh, and guess what? You get this flipped, obviously. So on the flip side, oh look, you found it. It's the Cave of Eternity at Zell, apparently. Nice artwork. That's pretty creepy. It looks like some kind of 80s metal album. Everybody knows that the Aztecs were way into death metal. Anyway, you can tap for any color, that's cool, or you could pay 5, hello, and return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, that's not broken at all, especially with ETBs and 12/12 dinosaurs. So I really don't like this card. I mean, I feel like I'd like to put it in my deck, but other than that, I really don't like it. It's gonna be so annoying. I mean, I keep reminding myself it's not as bad as Hexproof where you can't even target the damn creature in the first place, but it could take 6 removal spells to remove something and it's still coming back on the 7th turn. So that is mighty annoying. I think Ixalan is going to be important and we just don't have the card support for that. So I look at this card and I say I don't want to play against this. That is not good. That is not the impression you want to give people, Wizards. Next up, Kumena, who I believe was in the storyline or referenced or something, showed up maybe near the end. Tyrant of Verazca. Oh, great. So Kumena gets there. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's that Warlord guy. That's who it is. He's a tough, aggressive, military type, which is a cliche in everything ever. Seriously, walking archetypes like this, it just stereotypes is basically why Avatar sucked. Oh, you got the mean Mr. Military guy. I wonder if he'll lose in the end. Oh, you got Native Americans that are actually space aliens. So there's space Indians. Anyway, here's the Merfolk. And we've got, it's a 2/4 for 3, which is kind of neat. And tap another untapped Merfolk you control. And it can't be blocked this turn. Well, it only does 2 damage, so that's pointless. It's pretty good if it's boosted, but then if it's boosted, probably all merfolk are boosted, then you're still losing that much attack power, so this is not great. But if you tap 3 untapped merfolk you control, draw a card, obviously not sorcery speed, so that's kind of nice. It'll get you out of a little standoff. And tap 5 untapped merfolk you control, good lord. Put a 1/1 counter on each merfolk you control. That's kind of nice. I mean, this guy will just straight up get you out of a stalemate where you can't swing and they can't swing, which is never going to happen because it's merfolk. They're flying. They're virtually unblockable. I mean, that's the point, and you can't really target them with removal because of 2 other cards. Now, the counters thing, that kind of meshes with some other stuff, so he's good. He's just not, like, that good, but he's pretty good. Thank God he's not just an outright broken pile of garbage like I'm fearing the merfolk is going to turn into. Next up, oh boy, another garbage quality cell phone pick. We got River Darter, can't be blocked by dinosaurs. Oh, why? Why do they feel the need to do this? Just like so you can feel like you got a benefit out of it? Maybe at pre-release, maybe? Unblockable and being a 2/3 for 3, that's not bad for blue. It's not great though, but it's not truly unblockable. This is just dumb. I mean, even if people were locked into just playing nothing but Ixalan, which I think we all know right now people are playing nothing but energy, it's still 1 in 4. I mean, you got a 1 in 4 shot of just sitting down across from an opponent where this means anything. But then again, throw it in your sideboard if you got room, which you don't because blue plays control. So honestly, it's just a bad card, and it's common, so whatever, just ignore it. Next up, hey, an actual digital image. Yay, that's refreshing. Secrets of the Golden City. Ooh, I like secrets, especially about the Golden City. Now, I take issue with the flavor text. Stolen knowledge can never be stolen back. It kind of can, like, especially if they didn't read it yet. If they quite literally stole, like, knowledge in book form and then you steal it back, great. Otherwise, if you're saying, oh, you can't make them unlearn the knowledge, well, 1, amnesia, or 2, cut their head off, and then also steal back the book. So logically, that's just false. Oh boy, it has Ascend. I kind of get where they're going. Like, you get 10 people in the city, that's enough to defend it, like, troop-wise. All right, so yeah, if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. Nobody really knows how that works at an actual technical level, so that's great. It costs 3, double blue, draw 2 cards, nice. And if you have the city's blessing, draw 3. Ooh, and when you have 10 permanents on the field, you would probably need 3 cards because you're probably top decking at that point. So this is a really good card, and it's a common. I just feel like blue would be one of the harder colors to get 10 permanents on the field. But still, like 2 for 3, that's not bad. Isn't that like divination or something? That's not bad. Next up, we got the swagged out with the tags out Swaggering Corsair. He's a poorly black level corrected in Photoshop pirate. So, is a 2/2 for 3. So, oh, wow, fantastic. But he has raid, so that's coming back. He enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter if you attack with a creature this turn. So, he's the 3/3 that he should have been for the mana. Maybe some of the time. Oh boy, if they just wiped your board and you throw him out, that's just disappointment in pirate form. So unless you're going heavy tribal boost with like, oh, a pirate enters the battlefield, put a counter on him, boost him, and draw a card, I wouldn't. Next up, Tender Shoot Dryad. I swear that image is from like a movie or like a game, but I can't place it. I want to say those obnoxious things from Skyrim. Anyway, it has Ascend, which green could do. Green does stuff with tokens usually. It's, you know, dirt cheap, ramp, draw, you know, bring out dinosaurs, that kind of stuff. And then get this, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 sapling token. So you're going to get to 10 real quick, which you better because this is a 2/2 for 5. Ouch. And saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the blessing. So they are going to take over the city single-handedly if you can get the Dryad out. So... I mean, it's unreliable. It's one of those things where if you already had a dominant board state, oh, now really win. And that if you didn't, then this will never go off and you'll never get the full benefit from it. So it's just like not good. That said, you ramp into this and get it out on turn 4, you got a little something there because you're just going to start dumping saplings and you're almost to 10 already. So a couple turns later and oh boy, then you just run them over. So still susceptible to a board wipe. It's a bit of a house of cards and it telegraphs your movements and your strategy to your opponent. But still, it's not that bad. It's just really not that great, and that's just how all these Ascend cards are going to be. I think people will play them if they absolutely have to and if they're on tribal. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty unpopular. Next up, we got Thrashing Brontodon. It's a 3/4 for 3, which is pretty nice, but it is double green. And you can pay 1 of any color. If you do, sack it and take out an artifact or enchantment. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it's options. I always like creatures where they can just be like, fine, and then they just like self-destruct and take out something. You know, because then you don't need like a specific, you know, control card and then a creature. You can have both. And honestly, just as a creature, it's good. And then as a dinosaur tribal, it's even better. So yeah, I think this will be pretty popular. Next up, Vona's Hunger. I remember Vona. Let's see, cost 3. It's a black instant for once instead of a sorcery, even though it's a rare. That's something you don't see every day. And each opponent sacrifices a creature if you have City's Blessing. Oh boy, Ascend. Instead, each opponent sacrifices half the creatures he or she controls rounded up. Ooh. Here's the thing. There would be enormous benefits in certain modern decks with you targeting yourself, but you can't. That's a shame. Also, you would never in a million years get out 10 permanents in a modern game. That ain't gonna happen. Well, welcome to Ascend. Without Ascend, it's very overcosted, underwhelming, underpowered. And with Ascend, it's hyper overpowered, but you can't guarantee in a game you'll get out 10. So that is exactly how I would describe Ascend. It's like underpowered to overpowered, no middle ground, and you have to get there or your deck is going to backfire spectacularly. I don't like that. Next up, pretty funny artwork here. Zetta, Primal Dawn. It costs 8, so it's unplayable crap. But it is flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. And I think we know that in today's, well, I'd say meta, but it's not quite there yet. But in today's building environment, you would not have to pay 8 mana for this. Not only could you reduce it the normal way with dinosaur decks, which, come on, people, run like 2 of these. You could just cast it out for free. So I think white-green free casting dinosaurs is going to be a deck, potentially, because a lot of the free casting crap is in green. Thank God Marvel is gone. I would just hate to see this thing come out with Marvel. I mean, this being flying and double strike, so it's basically an 8/8, and vigilant, so you can swing away and still block with it, and have trample in case they chump it, and have indestructible in case they try to kill it. This is insane. This is absolute insanity, which is balanced by the fact that it costs 8. You'll never get it out except for an all-in ramp deck with like fetching or scry, and that's what, you know, that's what 8-cost cards are. That's always what they are. My issue is you could get this out on turn 4 with Champion of Ronus and then win the game. That's a turn 5 win by itself, self-contained with a little bit of ramp. That is just... it's just ridiculous. They need to stop doing that because they either have to stop printing cards like this, which would be no fun because they're hilarious, or they'd have to stop printing free casting, which, yes, they absolutely should, because, I mean, look at the number of cards banned in different formats, and then look at how many of them allow manipulative free casting something way earlier than you should or completely for free. Either one. It's a lot of cards. They just need to stop doing that. And I think after Marvel, they learned their lesson because they were so in denial about it that they banned Emrakul first. And then they're like, oh, whoops, no, it is Marvel. Literally everybody but us was right. So if you didn't guess, I'm going in alphabetical order. So Zetta is the last one. So, what a way to end. My God. So what do you think of the giant super dino? AKA, I thought what is the name of that one from that stupid Godzilla sequel? Actually, I think that was Mothra, and I think it wasn't a pterodactyl. Anyway, what do you think of all these spoilers? Let me know down in the comment section, and I will see you guys next video.